I discovered my wife's affair when her affair partner's wife called me. But here's the twist, they've been planning something much worse than cheating. Update, I went to the police and what they found made national news. I, 35M, thought I had a good marriage. My wife Emma, 33F, and I have been together for 9 years, married for 6. We have twin daughters who just turned 4. Emma works as a real estate agent, I'm an accountant. We live in a nice suburb, have a good life. Or so I thought. 3 weeks ago, I got a phone call that changed everything. It was 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. Emma was supposedly at a work dinner with clients. I was putting the girls to bed when my phone rang. Unknown number. I normally don't answer those, but something made me pick up. Is this Andrew? A woman's voice. She sounded like she'd been crying. Yes, who is this? My name is Lauren. I'm married to Ryan Bennett. I think you need to know that your wife has been having an affair with my husband. My stomach dropped. What? They've been seeing each other for at least 6 months. I found text messages on Ryan's phone tonight. Explicit messages. Plans to meet up. Hotels. Everything. I sat down hard on the couch. Are you sure? I have screenshots. I can send them to you. But that's not why I'm calling. She paused. There's something else. Something worse. Can we meet? Tomorrow? I need to show you something. My mind was reeling. Yes. Okay. Where? We agreed to meet at a coffee shop the next day at noon. I barely slept that night. Emma came home around 11 p.m., cheerful, talking about her dinner. I said nothing. I needed to know what Lauren had to tell me before I confronted Emma. The next day, I took a long lunch break. Lauren was already at the coffee shop when I arrived. She was mid-30s, blonde, looked exhausted. She had a laptop bag with her. Thank you for meeting me, she said. Her hands were shaking as she held her coffee cup. Tell me what's going on, I said. She opened her laptop and turned it toward me. I need you to see this before I explain. On the screen were text messages between Ryan and Emma. She wasn't lying, they were explicit. Plans to meet at hotels. Complaints about their spouses. Discussions about how in love they were. I felt sick reading them. I'm sorry, Lauren said. I know this is hard to see. How long have you known? I suspected for a few months. Ryan was being secretive with his phone, working late constantly, the usual signs. But I only confirmed it last night when I went through his phone while he was in the shower. Why are you telling me? Why not just confront them yourself? Lauren took a deep breath. Because of what else I found. She clicked to a different folder on her laptop. Ryan doesn't know I have access to his cloud storage. He thinks I'm technologically illiterate. But I'm a software engineer. I know my way around computers. She opened a document. It was a life insurance policy. On me. What the hell is this? I asked. Keep reading. The policy was for $2 million. The beneficiary was Emma. It was dated 3 months ago. I don't understand, I said. I never signed this. Look at the signature. I zoomed in. It looked like my signature, but something was off about it. The way the curved wasn't quite right. It's forged, Lauren said quietly. Ryan forged your signature. My blood ran cold. Why would he forge my signature on a life insurance policy? Lauren clicked to another document. This one was an email chain between Emma and Ryan. My hands started shaking as I read. Emma, I can't do this anymore. I want to be with you, but Andrew will never agree to a divorce. He'll fight for custody. I'll lose the girls. Ryan, then we don't get divorced. We handle it a different way. Emma, what do you mean? Ryan, there are ways to solve problems permanently. Ways that look like accidents. Emma, are you serious? Ryan, completely. I've been researching. I have ideas. But we need insurance in place first. Emma, insurance? Ryan, a policy on Andrew. A big one. So when the accident happens, you're taken care of. You and the girls. Emma, this is crazy. Ryan, it's only crazy if we get caught. And we won't. Emma, I need time to think about this. Ryan, don't take too long. The sooner we act, the sooner we can be together. I read the email chain 3 times. Each time, the words got worse. There's more, Lauren said. She looked like she might throw up. Ryan has been planning, he calls it the accident. He's been researching your routine. Your drive to work. Where you park. What time you leave the gym. She showed me more documents. Ryan had created a detailed file on me. My schedule. Photos of my car. Screenshots of my social media showing my regular locations. There was a document titled Plana that detailed how to tamper with my car's brakes to cause an accident on my commute. Another titled Plan B about staging a home invasion gone wrong. A third titled Plan C about a random mugging that turns fatal. They were planning to murder me, I said. My voice didn't sound like my own. Yes, Lauren whispered. And they were planning to do the same to me. She showed me another set of documents. A life insurance policy on Lauren, also forged. Email discussions about how Lauren's accident could happen after mine, so it wouldn't look suspicious. How they'd wait 6 months between incidents to avoid detection. Ryan has a $1.5 million policy on me, Lauren said. Between the two policies, they'd have $3.5 million. Enough to start a new life together. With your daughters and without either of us. I couldn't breathe. This wasn't real. This couldn't be real. What do we do? I asked. We go to the police, Lauren said. Right now. Today. Before they act on any of this. We left the coffee shop and drove to the police station. We brought Lauren's laptop with all the evidence. We met with Detective Sarah Morrison, who specialized in fraud and conspiracy cases. Detective Morrison listened to everything. She looked at the documents, the emails, the forged insurance policies, the planning documents. Her expression got darker with each page. This is attempted murder conspiracy, she said. Fraud. Forgery. This is serious. We need to move on this immediately. Over the next 6 hours, we gave statements. The police got warrants for Emma's and Ryan's phones, computers, and cloud storage accounts. They contacted the insurance companies about the fraudulent policies. Detective Morrison was very clear, we couldn't tip off Emma or Ryan. We had to act normal until the police could gather enough evidence to arrest them. Go home, Detective Morrison said. Act like nothing happened. We'll move as quickly as we can, but we need to be thorough. These are serious charges. We need to build an airtight case. Going home that night was one of the hardest things I've ever done. Emma was there, making dinner, asking about my day. I smiled and lied and pretended everything was fine while knowing she'd been planning to kill me. I looked at my daughters, sweet, innocent 4-year-olds, and realized their mother had been planning to make them orphans. To take their father away permanently. How do you process that? For 3 days, I pretended. I went to work. I came home. I had dinner with my family. I tucked my daughters into bed. And the whole time, I was screaming inside. On the 4th day, the police arrested Emma and Ryan. Emma was arrested at a house showing. Handcuffed in front of her clients. Ryan was arrested at his office. They were both charged with conspiracy to commit murder, insurance fraud, and forgery. I picked up my daughters from daycare early that day. I didn't want them seeing their mother on the news. Because it made the news. Local news first, then regional, then national. Suburban couple plan double murder for insurance money was the headline. My phone exploded. Family. Friends. Co-workers. Everyone wanted to know if it was true, if I was okay, what was happening. I hired a lawyer. Not a criminal lawyer, I hadn't done anything wrong, but a family lawyer to help me get full custody of my daughters and file for divorce. Emma's parents called me, crying, insisting there had been a mistake. That Emma would never do this. I sent them screenshots of the emails. They stopped calling. The police investigation revealed even more. Ryan had purchased untraceable poison online. He'd been following me for weeks, learning my patterns. He'd installed tracking software on my phone without my knowledge. Emma had done the same to Lauren. She'd been tracking Lauren's movements, taking photos, planning the accident. The level of premeditation was chilling. Lauren and I have stayed in touch through all of this. We're both traumatized. We're both in therapy. We're both trying to figure out how we missed the signs that our spouses were capable of murder. The preliminary hearing was last week. Emma and Ryan both pled not guilty, which is insane given the evidence against them. Their lawyers are apparently going for some kind of "it was just fantasy" defense, claiming they never actually intended to go through with it, they were just venting frustrations. But the forged insurance policies prove otherwise. You don't forge documents as part of a fantasy. The prosecutor told me they're looking at 25 to life if convicted. Each. For both of them. My daughters ask about their mother. When is mommy coming home, they say. What do I tell them? That mommy tried to have daddy killed? That mommy is in jail because she's a monster? I tell them mommy made some bad choices and she has to be away for a while. Therefore, they don't understand. Thank God they don't understand. I'm selling the house. I can't live here anymore, in the home Emma and I built together, knowing she was planning my death in this kitchen, in this bedroom, in these rooms where our daughters play. Lauren is selling her house too. She and I talk sometimes, late at night, when the weight of everything gets too heavy. We're the only two people who truly understand what the other is going through. People keep asking me how I didn't see the signs. How I didn't know Emma was unhappy. How I didn't suspect the affair. The truth is, I didn't. Emma was a good liar. She came home every night. She kissed me. She told me she loved me. She played with our daughters. She seemed happy. She was planning to kill me and she seemed happy. That's what keeps me up at night. Not just the betrayal of the affair. Not just the attempted murder. But the fact that she could look me in the eye, smile, say, "I love you," and be actively planning my death. What kind of person does that? The trial is scheduled for 4 months from now. I'll have to testify. I'll have to sit in a courtroom and detail how my wife conspired to murder me for insurance money. How she was willing to orphan our children for a life with her affair partner. My therapist says I'm processing trauma. That it's normal to feel numb, angry, scared, all at once. That it will take time to heal. But how do you heal from knowing the person you trusted most in the world wanted you dead? I'm doing my best. For my daughters. They need me. They need stability and love and a parent who's present and functional. So I get up every day. I go to work. I take care of my girls. I put one foot in front of the other. But at night, when the girls are asleep, I think about how close I came to dying. How if Lauren hadn't found those files, if she hadn't called me, if I hadn't believed her, I might be dead right now. My daughters might be orphans. Emma and Ryan might be living their dream life on my life insurance money. That almost happened. That was the plan. And I had no idea. Update, posted 4 months later. The trial is over. Emma and Ryan have been convicted. And the full truth came out. It was so much worse than even Lauren and I realized. Thank you to everyone who commented on my original post offering support. It helped more than you know during the darkest time of my life. I promised I'd update after the trial, so here we are. The trial lasted 3 weeks. It was brutal. I had to sit in that courtroom every day and listen to the prosecution detail exactly how Emma and Ryan planned to kill me and Lauren. I had to see evidence I hadn't seen before. I had to hear Emma's lawyer try to paint her as a victim of Ryan's manipulation. But the most shocking revelations came from the digital forensics team. They recovered deleted files from both Emma's and Ryan's computers. Files they thought were permanently erased. And what they found made national news. Emma and Ryan had been planning this for over 2 years. Not 6 months like we originally thought. 2 years. The affair started 3 years ago at a real estate conference where Ryan was a keynote speaker. For the first year, it was just an affair. Sneaking around, hotel rooms, the usual. But then Emma got pregnant. With the twins. And according to emails the forensics team recovered, Emma wasn't sure the twins were mine. There was a 50-50 chance they were Ryan's. Emma and Ryan discussed it extensively in emails. They considered telling me. They considered her having an abortion. They ultimately decided to let her have the babies and see who they looked like. When the girls were born, they apparently looked more like me than Ryan. Emma was relieved. Ryan was disappointed. They decided to keep the secret. But Ryan became obsessed with the idea that he might have children out there that weren't legally his. That Emma's daughters should have been his daughters. That he deserved to raise them. That's when the plan started. If I was dead and Lauren was dead, Emma and Ryan could be together. They could raise the twins as their own. And if there was any chance the twins were biologically Ryan's, he'd finally have his children. The $3.5 million in insurance money was just a bonus. When this came out in trial, I demanded a paternity test. The prosecutor arranged it immediately. The results came back 3 days later. The twins are mine. Biologically, definitively mine. I can't describe the relief I felt. Because for those 3 days, I was terrified. Terrified that my daughters, the 2 lights of my life, might be the biological children of the man who tried to have me killed. But they're mine. Completely mine. The trial also revealed more details about the actual murder plans. Ryan had purchased equipment to tamper with brake lines. He'd bought untraceable burner phones. He'd rented a storage unit 2 towns over where he kept surveillance equipment, latex gloves, and detailed maps of my daily routes. They found a journal in the storage unit where Ryan documented his practice runs, times he followed me without my knowledge, testing how close he could get, figuring out my patterns. He'd been following me for 18 months. Lauren's situation was even more elaborate. Emma had befriended one of Lauren's coworkers and gotten her to unknowingly provide information about Lauren's schedule. They had a whole network of people feeding them information without knowing what it was for. The prosecution painted a picture of 2 calculated, patient, methodical would-be murderers. This wasn't a crime of passion. This wasn't a moment of rage. This was a long-term plan executed with precision. The defense tried to argue that it was all fantasy. That Emma and Ryan never actually intended to go through with it. That they were just venting and planning and playing a game. But the jury didn't buy it. The forged insurance policies, the surveillance equipment, the purchased poison, the practice runs, it all added up to attempted murder. After 3 days of deliberation, the jury came back with guilty verdicts on all counts for both Emma and Ryan. Emma was sentenced to 28 years in prison. Ryan got 32 years because he was deemed the primary planner. Neither is eligible for parole for at least 20 years. I watched Emma's face when the verdict was read. I expected tears. Remorse. Something. She looked angry. Not sad. Not regretful. Angry. Like she was mad she got caught, not sorry for what she'd done. That told me everything I needed to know. I'd loved a woman who was capable of murdering me without remorse. A woman who could look at our 4-year-old daughters and still plan to make them fatherless. After sentencing, Emma's lawyer asked if Emma could have a moment to speak to me. Against my lawyer's advice, I agreed. We met in a private room with guards present. Emma was in an orange jumpsuit, handcuffed. She looked smaller than I remembered. Older. I didn't want it to be like this, she said. You wanted me dead, I replied. How exactly did you want it to be? I loved you once, she said. I did. But I fell in love with Ryan. And I couldn't have both. So you chose murder. I chose freedom, she said. I know you'll never understand that. You're right. I won't. Because normal people get divorced. They don't commit murder. The girls, she started. Don't, I interrupted. Don't talk about the girls. You were willing to take their father away. You don't get to ask about them now. They're my daughters. No. They're my daughters. You gave up that right when you conspired to kill me. Emma started crying then. I made a mistake. I got caught up in something. Ryan convinced me. Stop. The evidence doesn't support that. You were an equal partner in this. You tracked Lauren. You forged documents. You planned my murder. Own it. She looked at me with these desperate eyes. Will you bring the girls to visit me? Absolutely not. You can't keep them from me. Actually, I can. I have full custody. You have no parental rights anymore. The judge terminated them. You'll never see those girls again. The reality of that seemed to hit her all at once. She collapsed into sobs. Please. Please don't take my babies away. You did this, I said coldly. You made this choice. Now you live with the consequences. I walked out. It was the last time I'll ever speak to Emma. As for Lauren and me, we've become close friends through this ordeal. Not romantic. Neither of us is ready for that and probably never will be with each other. But we understand each other in a way no one else can. She's moving to a different state to start fresh. She sold her house and got a new job. She wants a completely clean break from everything connected to Ryan. I'm staying here. My daughters need stability, and moving would just add more chaos to their lives. But I did sell our house. We're in a new neighborhood now, a smaller house, but it's ours. Clean. No memories of Emma. The girls are in therapy. Child therapy, specialized for young kids dealing with trauma. They don't know the full story, they're too young, but they know mommy did bad things and can't come home. They ask about her less and less. Kids are resilient. They're adapting. My oldest daughter asked me last week, is mommy a bad guy? I said, mommy made very bad choices. But we're safe now. And daddy's going to take care of you forever. She seemed satisfied with that answer. I'm dating again. Casually. Nothing serious. My therapist says it's healthy to open myself up to connection again, but I'm terrified. How do you trust someone after your wife tried to have you killed? I'm working on it. The life insurance companies voided both policies and are suing Emma and Ryan for fraud. I'll probably never see that money, but at least they won't either. Ryan's company fired him, obviously. Emma's real estate license was revoked. Their mugshots are online forever. Their lives are effectively over. Meanwhile, I'm rebuilding. I'm raising 2 beautiful daughters who will grow up knowing their father fought to keep them safe. I'm healing. I'm learning to trust again. I'm moving forward. People ask if I'm angry. If I hate Emma. Honestly? I feel nothing toward her. She's a stranger to me now. The woman I married didn't exist. She was a character Emma played. The real Emma was capable of murder. I don't hate her. I just don't care about her anymore. My daughters are thriving. I'm thriving. We have a good life. Emma has 28 years in prison to think about her choices. I'd say that's justice. Lauren texted me yesterday, we survived something that was supposed to kill us. That makes us pretty badass. She's right. We were supposed to die. Our spouses planned it, prepared for it, were ready to execute it. But we didn't die. We're here. We're alive. We're moving forward. And Emma and Ryan are in prison where they belong. Sometimes I think about that phone call from Lauren 3 weeks before our lives changed. What if I hadn't answered? What if she hadn't been tech-savvy enough to find the files? What if we hadn't believed each other and gone to the police? I'd probably be dead. My daughters would be orphans. Emma and Ryan would be free. But that's not what happened. What happened is two people who should have loved us decided to kill us instead. And they failed. We won. That's all that matters now. To anyone reading this, if something feels off in your relationship, trust your gut. Pay attention to the signs. Protect yourself. I ignored small red flags because I trusted my wife. I assumed the best. I never thought she was capable of something like this. Don't make my mistake. And if someone calls you out of the blue claiming to have information about your spouse, listen to them. Take them seriously. Investigate. That phone call saved my life. I'll never forget that. Thank you again to everyone who supported me through this. Your comments, your messages, your shared stories, they helped more than you know. I'm going to be okay. My daughters are going to be okay. We're building a new life. A better life. A safe life. And that's all I ever wanted.